Hi, my name is Eleanor. I am 57 years old. I am unemployed due to medical conditions. I was diagnosed in 2013 with having a tumor on my spinal cord. I was told by my urologist that it needed to be removed and it needed to be removed as soon as possible. He referred me to a neurosurgeon the following week, and the last week in June, I had an appointment with my neurologist, who I would call Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe looked at my x rays and my MRI, and he said that I needed to be in surgery as soon as possible. The tumor was embedded in my spinal cord at T10 and T11 and L1. It wasn't cancerous, but it needed to be removed as soon as possible. He didn't understand how I was walking because of the position of the tumor. So we scheduled a surgery, and before I knew, I was called the week after the 4th of July in 2014 to have surgery. I explained to him that I had a family reunion that we did every year, and I would like to have been there. So, in saying that, that Saturday we celebrated the 4th of July, and I was jump roping, double dutching, playing baseball, but I had a terrible pain in my hip joints. And that Monday, I went into surgery at 5:05 that Monday morning, and Dr. Highsmith explained to me and my husband that these kind of tumors normally popped right out when he opened them up, and that the surgery should be about 4 hours, and it should be a relative easy surgery. Well, into the surgery, he went out and talked to my husband and told him that the surgery was going a little longer than it took, and that the tumor was embedded into the spinal cord, and that he had to hand chisel it off, and it took a little time, and it was a very delicate surgery because it was around my spinal cord. So after I came out of surgery, I was in recovery, and when I woke up, I remember telling the nurse um, that my right side was hurting so bad. I had a pain in my lower abdomen on the right side, and it was hurting to the point that I was in tears. So she came and she upped the pain medications, or gave me some pain medication, which was intravenously, and the pain subsided. I was later moved to my room after recovery, and the pain in my side hadn't went away from that day to this day. I still have that excruciating pain in my right side, along with the pain in my back, that I was told came from the trauma that was committed to my spinal cord in that area. So I went on, and after my recovery stage of 6 weeks, I went back to Dr. Joe, and I told him that I was still in enormous pain, but I didn't like the amount of painkillers that I was taking. Could we try going on something else? And I requested that he put me on Loratab, and he did. And I took Loratab, and it wasn't doing anything for my pain. So I called them back, and they put me back on oxycodone, which was 5 milligrams, 325. And that I was told that oxycodone had Tylenol in it. So I took that, and I went back to work in pain. I would leave home at 6:30 in the morning, and by the time I got to work, I was eating pain medication like a baby eats candy. And by the time I was into 2 months of my recovery, I was referred to pain management. And I went over to pain management, and we did tests. We did steroid treatments, we did injections, and nothing seemed to help. He couldn't get the pain medication into the back area where he wanted it because of the scar tissue, and he couldn't inject it into scar tissue because it would cause me more problems in the long run. So I continued on a regimen of pain meds, oxycodone, and then my nerves became a problem till they felt like the endings were on the top of my skin. And at times it felt like if you brushed the hair on my arms, I would just scream because it was so irritating, and couldn't stand my husband to touch my skin. It got to the point till I went to my family doctor and I told him about it, and he told me that he didn't understand why they didn't give me Lyrica a few months back for the nerve endings, because I was having what is similar to diabetic nerve pain. So I started on Lyrica and I continued on the oxycodone for another regimen of maybe 3 or 4 months, and my pain management was not being controlled. So my pain management doctor suggested that I try the nerve stimulator, and we did the surgery on July 14th of 2014, and I had what is called a nerve stimulator by Boston Scientific, and this is my remote control that I can adjust up and down for my pain level. I can change it. I have settings for sleep, walk, sit, stand, and work. And that's the only relief I get for this pain on my right side. But as I continue to what they call the healing process, I found myself getting weaker in my right leg. I have sensations in my feet and my fingers. I lost my ability to speak clearly. I stumbled over my words. I could know what I wanted to say and I couldn't say it. I could be at my keyboard wanting to type something and I couldn't make my fingers do what I want them to do. And I didn't know if that was a direct cause of the damage to my spinal cord or the side effects from the medication, because I take oxycodone, which I take 4 times a day. I don't know if you can see the name of it, but it's oxycodone 4 times a day. I take Lyrica 2 times a day. I take ibuprofen 4 times a day. Then I take 2 muscle relaxers. And this is another muscle relaxer. I can't pronounce the name of it, so I'm putting them up so you maybe can see them and pronounce the names of them. And then I take something for to help me sleep, and it doesn't help worth a crap. And then I take something for another type of muscle relaxer. Then I take these 2 medicines for antidepressant, because I was at a stage where I was crying a lot. And then I take Opana, which is another pain medication. And I take something, estradiol, for my hot flashes. And I start every morning at 4 o'clock with 5 pills: Lyrica, Opana, oxycodone, and ibuprofen. And I take these at 4 or 4:15, which allows me to be able to get up with my husband to go to work at 5. and they last till about 11 or 12 o'clock, and then I'm taking oxycodone and Lyrica. And then I take that, and then at 3 o'clock I take another oxycodone. And then at 7 o'clock I take my 2 antidepressants. I take my Lyrica or Pana, oxycodone, a muscle relaxer, not 2, a muscle relaxer. And then in the middle of the night I may wake up with a tightness or a pain, and I'll take another muscle relaxer. On top of all these medications, I couldn't focus. I couldn't function at work. I did medical billing, and I could not think. I would be sitting at my desk trying to think, and if I wasn't sleepy, I was trying to figure out what I was doing, and I would find myself engaged in a conversation, and I could not retain the thought to carry on a conversation. And so I just felt I could not work. And so I ended up leaving work on February the 3rd of 2016. No, 2015. I couldn't do it anymore. I found myself, the thing that scared me most is when I got to the red light and I fell asleep, and when I woke up I said, I can't drive like this because I'm either going to kill myself or kill some innocent person. So I didn't need to be on the road under all that medication. So I called my doctor, made an appointment, and told him that I couldn't work. And I went out on leave again, and I did my short-term disability. And I'm still on long-term disability. And I guess if you say, just to make matters worse, I applied for Social Security disability. I was denied 3 times, had a crappy lawyer. They just wanted to pay out from if I got a settlement. So I ended up filing a new claim. I lost 2 years of back pay if I am approved this time. And if I'm not, I still have to go through the reconsideration letter and the new appeals letter and so on. So me being 57 years old, they may fight me until I'm 62. I just pray and ask God to have mercy on me and to help me along this struggle. And I tell anybody, if you're sick, go to the doctor. If the doctor diagnosed you, get a second opinion, because I wish I had. If I had known what I know today, I would have suffered with the hip joint pains and struggled with what might have happened if I left the tumor there, than to go through this back pain that I go through every day. It's excruciating. It's agonizing. It is this has been the worst 4 years of my life. I can't dance anymore. I can't play softball anymore. I barely enjoy my grandchildren, and they are my heart. But some days when they come and ask me, can they spend the night, and I just tell them, Grandma can't do it. I just can't do it tonight. But as time goes on, I'm hoping that I'm able to cope with the back pain a little better than I do now. I don't do good because I do take a lot of pain meds. I thought or think I could be addicted to pain meds. I talked to my pain management about that, and I want to come off of them. I want to find an alternative medication to this back pain. But I tell anybody, if you don't have to have back surgery, don't let them do back surgery on you until you have a second opinion. Because if I had known what I know today, I don't question God, but I would not have had this back surgery. I would have taken whatever hands God dealt me, and if I was confined to a wheelchair, me and my husband would have figured out how we would have dealt with that. But one thing I could say, I might have been in a wheelchair, but I would have not been in this pain like I'm in right now. And I pray and I hope that my doctor's able to find some way to help me with something else. I often say if we can put a man on the moon, we can find some other way to treat pain management than writing all of this pain meds that I have. So I encourage anyone to get a second opinion. Don't lose your quality of life, because once you lose that, you don't have anything else. And I promise to celebrate life to the fullest, because I have but one life to live. And I refuse to let this pain keep me crippled and chained to the chair. So you pray for me and I'll pray for you. And I hope this video helps someone else and understand that it's easy for a doctor to write you a prescription than it is for them to help you find a better way. And just take some advice and get a second opinion. But take care of yourself first, and everything else will come in place. Thank you, and you have a blessed afternoon.